Hey Blake, good to see you. I guess just what went into this for you and when and how did you come to this decision?
Honestly, for me, it was a pretty easy decision. I came to it pretty quickly after the season. Coach League does a great job of teaching us the standard of the next level. And me personally, I don't think I'm there yet. And speaking to people who I value their support, they said the same thing. So that was part of the decision, but also, like James alluded to, I really want to be part of the change, and I really want to bring this culture that Coach B is bringing in. You know, when he spoke to us the day after Penn State, um, I was just I was sold with what he was saying. He was like James said, he was emotional. He really spoke to me personally and got to know me and felt very welcomed and felt like he could take this team to where it needs to go. And also, have a feel really like blessed to wear the orange and blue and represent the people who have played before me and represent my teammates as well. I wanted to do them a service one more time. So honestly, it was quite an easy decision to come back, and I was just waiting for, I guess, permission from Coach B to see if I could come back, if he wanted me to come back, and got that all sorted. So yeah, I'm very happy to come back.
You said, you talked to people who maybe thought a little more time was necessary in Champaign, but you entered the season as literally the number one ranked punter according to Mel Kiper. Where did that kind of factor in your mind? Was it something that it was like, okay, great, or was it something that you thought about it all? I mean, how did you balance that?
I mean, honestly, stuff like that. Um, the way I view them really comes from my brother. He had similar experience when he was in high school with scouting and I guess a top recruiting board and that putting you as number one or number whatever. And I mean, as you can see, it's really just a preseason ranking. It's not an indication of what the future holds. Or, I mean, it's great to be recognized as one of the top guys in his eyes, but I think you can just push it to the side and continue to work on what needs to be done. And ultimately, you just want to do well for the team. So whatever that looks like, whether it means you're the number one guy or you know if you've done your job for the team but you don't end up being a top punter in the country, but you've done well from the team, then those are the kind of differences that you look for. So really, the rankings before the season and after the season are just kind of there. I don't really look to those. I really look to the coaches and if they were happy with my season and how they think I'm progressing. So that's really what I look at.
Thanks, Blake. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hey, Blake, you said you don't think you were maybe at that standard of the next level just yet. What is it that you need to improve on to reach that standard in this extra season in Champaign?
I definitely think specifically my hang time on my punts is something that I need to work on for the next level. And then just I guess with all specialists, the common thread is consistency. Just making sure that I can hit that ball that I want to 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 times. So because in the next level, as we've learned, there's a lot. So there's not much room for error. And those jobs fill in and out pretty quickly, and that's something that we've learned from Chase McLaughlin, who has come through before, is that although he's performed well, he's been replacing guys that maybe haven't, or placing guys injured, and he's been on a handful of teams, so it can sometimes turn out like that. So just making sure that as I well, this time next year when I won't have an extra year and I'll have to leave, that I'm my best product that I can be for the next level.
And then you said that Coach Bielema spoke with you personally. Not getting too far into those details, what was his message in terms of you coming back for this extra season?
I mean, honestly, first of all, one thing that I really appreciated is that he took the time just to get to know me personally. I think that's something that is as a player is undervalued, and when you have a coach that, he didn't even ask about football. The first thing he asked was just about me, and he wanted to get to know me. And that's something that I really appreciate. And then obviously we just got to a decision where, I wanted to come back, and I just was wondering if he had plans of me coming back, or I don't really know how this all works with a new head coach, if he wanted to bring another guy in. So I'm excited again, just to get a chance to compete for the spot again, and really hopefully be a part of the change that Coach B is bringing in.
Thanks, Blake.
Thanks.
Blake, just real quick, are you stateside right now? Are you back in Australia? Are you home for break? Where are you at?
I'm at my girlfriend's place, it's where I stayed for lockdown. So I'm pretty comfortable here. I lived here for like 4 to 5 months over the lockdown stage. So I'm very thankful for the Oris family for taking care of me. They're about 2 hours south of campus, so they've been great taking care of me. Obviously, I can't get back home, so yeah. And even my teammates have reached out as well, seeing if I had anywhere to go. So everyone in the Illinois family is very supportive of me when I might not have a chance to go home. So I'm very thankful for that.
Great. So I'm curious of when you arrived, you talked about not only the football opportunity and learning the game, but also Pro Kick gave you this opportunity to get a really great education in the United States, and you really wanted that. How much did education factor in here of, one more year?
That was probably the main factor. As everyone knows, your time in the NFL is very short, and even if you get an opportunity at the next level, it could be 1 year or it could be none. And I think it's very rare to have a long career where you make enough to be financially stable. So having that background that you can fall back on of a good education from a world-class university, and I've just enrolled in the master's program. With thanks to Mike Maziarz at the academics. He does an awesome job, and we worked through a process where I was able to get started on my master's, and that'll be done in the fall of next year. So just having that backup plan, academics is something I'm really passionate about, and if not, it's on the same level as football. So just having an opportunity to learn from a university like this was definitely one of the main contributors in my decision.
Thanks.
Hey, Blake, I know you guys as a specialist unit are really close. What's it mean for you, James, Ethan, to all kind of bring it back for 1 year? What's that mean to you?
It's awesome. Where we've become best of friends through this crazy ride. We've had many highs and many challenging days, and the camaraderie that we've built within that room, even with the other guys like Caleb and Naden and Hugh, just coming in, it's such a special group, and we feed off each other so much. We know when we're feeling down, how to help each other get back up. If it's a bad punt, if it's a bad kick, we know how to get each other back on the right level. If it's a good kick, if it's a game winner, we know how to enjoy it and take it in, because we understand that these opportunities don't come every day. And there's stuff that you need to enjoy, like when James hit that game winner after Rutgers. He missed a couple before, and I just looked to him on the sideline and I started laughing because I knew he would make it, and he knew he would make it as well. It's just, I don't know, it's just almost like a psychic thing that we all have with each other, and it's really special just to come back again for another year and share those experiences again, whether it's highs or lows. The lows are sometimes just as good as the highs because you get a lot out of it. So just another year of that will be so much fun for all of us.
That's all I had. Thanks, Blake.
Thanks.
Hey, Blake, with Ethan tearing his ACL, what did you think about his decision to keep playing? Like, was that something that you guys talked about, or were you kind of like questioning him keeping playing? What was that like?
I never really spoke to him about if he wanted to come back, especially after the ACL. I think everyone can make the decision for themselves. I didn't really want to influence anyone's decision. Sorry, but I really respect him coming back, even with the injury. I mean, I'm not too familiar with how long it takes to recover, but I know it's going to be a long process. And for him, as you said, he probably didn't have to come back. He's got his degree already. He could get started on other things, but I think it's a credit to him that he's able to give back to the university. And I mean, you see it on the field. He plays for his teammates, and I think just like with the injury, he's gonna rehab for the team, and he's gonna get back to top condition for the team. And as you saw, he still played with basically a torn ACL, so still snapped field goals, which is he's putting himself out there and being vulnerable with the injury. So it's all credit to him, definitely.
Yeah, I think so. When he kept playing, like when he was playing with that injury, what did you think about that?
I mean, really, I wasn't too surprised because he's a pretty gritty guy. I knew he was trying to get on punt. He was trying to tell the doctors that, I mean, I could let him speak for it, but he was trying to get on punt. And I was surprised he was able to do field goal I was surprised that the doctors let him, but I mean, whatever the doctors would let him do, he was going to do. If that meant he was going to go on punt and run down on a dodgy knee, he would have done it. I mean, he did against Iowa. One of the plays, he just basically walked down the field. So it's stuff like that that really makes me not surprised that he wanted to get out there on a bad leg.
Great, thanks, Blake.
Thank you.
Blake, I'll just ask you about, we haven't really got a chance to ask you really much about the pandemic and how it's affected you. We've heard so many foreign athletes at Illinois just talk about how they haven't been home for 12 months, 14 months, 18 months. Just what's been the mental fatigue for you to not be able to see the people that you love as much as you have, and going through this type of a season through a pandemic?
Yeah, I mean, it's been difficult, obviously. Anytime you're away from your family, it's a difficult time. And last night I was speaking to my mom, and she has a little counter for how many days we haven't seen each other. And it's about, I think it was 354 last night. So it's almost been exactly a year since I've been home. And I guess being away from home for this long, and also through the football season, it teaches you a lot. And I think the best lesson that I've learned from it is just it's every time with whoever it's with, whether it's your loved ones or the people you support, is very precious. And I never thought that I wouldn't see them for another year. So whenever you say goodbye, it's important that you value it and that it's quality time, because I normally go home in May, but that didn't happen, and I might not go home in May again. So it might be a while before I see him again, but it's important to keep that connection. And my family is so supportive, so they've been really strong through the whole process.
A house cleaning question: what graduate program were you able to get into so that you could actually do this next fall?
I was able to get into the Masters of Public Health program. So coming from a Bachelor of Kinesiology, it kind of streamlined pretty well.
Thanks, Blake. I appreciate it.
Happy New Year, guys.
Thanks, Blake.